All right, here it is. Time for a little commentary on this thing. So far I've got 12 pieces cut out for the great wood boiler, and I just cut out my bottom piece. This is going to go on the bottom with a slot here, you know, where you get the gasification going through that slot, and I hopefully made it big enough because I'm actually planning on putting some sort of a inset around here to inject air in as it goes down through. So let's hope that works out. All of my other pieces are sitting here on the floor. My front panel with the door is sitting here. The panel up here will have access to the heat exchanger tubes, and then my panel back here is the back panel, and again that's the back access to the heat exchanger tubes, and this little slot right here is to let smoke out when you want to turn it off of gasification mode and just run it directly out to the chimney there. So that's what that little slot is for, or will be for. So basically I have, on my picture here, I've got front and back cut out. I've got the panels where all of these heat exchanger tubes will be put in. Those are cut out, and the main part of the box is cut out. So assuming I did this in a previous video, I'm not having the box be just a square. It's going to go in at an angle here. So I've cut all those pieces, and we're about ready to start filling holes, because some of these pieces obviously have holes in them and they need some grinding here and there. So as you can see there's holes, there's a big hole, and a few of them have, down in that pile there, have bigger holes. So that's my next task here for a little while, is plugging holes and making sure we don't have any leaks from those, because that would be a disaster. So I think we can do that. Anyway, onward. I've just welded these little fill-in jobs here, and I had a few rods besides this 10-pound box, but let's just, for sake of ease, say we're starting out on this 10-pound box of rod here. So I'm curious, does anybody have a guess as to how much rod I'm going to use by the time this project is done? I'm guessing it's going to be a lot more than this 10 pounds. So I will keep you apprised, that is, and maybe surprised as we go along here. I've just completed filling holes and grinding around the edges on all these pieces here. There's actually 12 total, which make up the main part of the firebox. plus the back end over here and the front end over here. So there's my door, and the top, of course, is a clean out for the heat exchangers on the top. So we're going to take a little break and do a cleanup of the shop floor, which is driving me nuts because there's slag and grinding everywhere. Starting to put things together here. Just tacking for right now. I tack the bottom of the firebox in down here, top of the firebox. Starting out, I'm going to tack the sides on, then I'll tack the angle going across here on the top. Probably concentrate on welding all this top up because that's what has to be leak free. This water's going to be in there. I'm not as concerned about the bottom of the firebox at this point because it's not water jacketed. It just has to have good welds on it. So on the advice of a friend, I went and bought a 25, excuse me, I went and bought a 25-pound box of 6011 rod. So I'm going to use that. My welding knowledge is pretty limited. I usually use this here, 7018, for almost everything that I do. But he said that I should do the first pass in something like 6010 or 6011. Well, 6010 I guess is for a DC machine, which I do not have because there's my old AC welder. So yeah, starting out on the 6011 and gonna do the first pass along all of this in 6011 and then fill over the top of it with the 7018 rod. So we'll see how that works, and I have to add that to my rod pile. We'll see how fast I go through that rod. 25 pounds. Well, at the rate I'm going here, it's not looking too bad, but I've got a lot more to go, so I'm sure we'll burn through it.